Hello friends, myself Professor Pathakar, and in today's lecture we are going to solve numerical of NTU method for parallel flow heat exchanger. In our previous lecture we have already discussed how to solve numerical based on LMTD method for parallel flow heat exchanger and counter flow heat exchanger. So in today's lecture we need some equations to solve the numerical based on NTU method for parallel flow heat exchanger. In our heat exchanger chapter, we have already discussed that for LMTD method, we need only these three equations. First, energy balance equation. Second, this heat transfer rate equation by LMTD method. And this theta m for parallel flow heat exchanger and for counter flow heat exchanger. Now, for numerical based on NTU method, we additionally need these equations. First, this is effectiveness, which we already know that it is a ratio of Q by Q max, where Q represent actual heat transfer which takes place in heat exchanger, which can be find out by MHCPH TH1 minus TH2 or MCCPC, or we can write heat capacity CC TC2 minus TC1 here by using this equation or using this equation. So effectiveness is a ratio of Q by Q maximum, and we know that the value of Q maximum, a maximum heat transfer rate any heat exchanger can achieve, is a C minimum into TH1 minus TC1. We have already discussed why there is TH1 minus TC1, because in any heat exchanger the highest temperature difference is TH1 minus TC1, because we can see that in a parallel flow heat exchanger or in a counter flow heat exchanger, TH1 is the highest temperature from all this from all these four temperature, and TC1 is the lowest temperature from all this value, from all these four values. So the maximum temperature difference either in parallel or in counter flow, it would be TH1 minus TC1, TH1 minus TC1. So for any heat exchanger, maximum temperature difference is TH1 minus TC1 and in multiplication we have written as a C minimum, because with minimum heat capacity either of cold fluid or hot fluid and with maximum temperature difference, we can get the value of Q maximum, which is an ideal value for any heat exchanger, but we are comparing that Q maximum with actual performance to get the value of effectiveness. So we need this equation to solve the numerical, which is effectiveness. More than this, we have also derived the equation for effectiveness of parallel flow heat exchanger and counter flow heat exchanger. For parallel, it is 1 minus exponential of minus NTU 1 plus R upon 1 plus R, and for counter 1 minus exponential of minus NTU 1 minus R upon 1 minus R exponential minus NTU 1 minus R, where NTU is a number of transfer unit whose value we can get by this equation U into A upon C minimum, and where in this equation R is equal to C mean by C max. And we know that C mean and C max, it is a heat capacity, minimum heat capacity and maximum heat capacity. From CH and CC, whose value is lower becomes C minimum and whose value is maximum becomes C max. So if CH value of CH is less than CC, then CH would be C minimum and CC would be C maximum. If CC is less than CH, then CC would be C minimum and CH would be C maximum. So only this 7 to 8 equations are required to solve any numerical of heat exchanger. So in this lecture we will solve numerical based on NTU method for only parallel configuration, and then counter flow, then counter configuration. Let's start with the parallel configuration. First numerical: a chemical having specific heat of 3.3 kilojoule per kg Kelvin flowing at the rate of 20,000 kg per hour enters a parallel flow heat exchanger. So here we can identify that is the parallel flow configuration at 120 degrees Celsius. Right now we don't know that our chemical is hot fluid or cold fluid. Let's read further. The flow rate of cooling water. So here it is mentioned that there is a cooling water. So our chemical is our hot fluid. So this specific heat is belongs to specific heat of hot fluid. So CPH is 3.3 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. This mass flow rate is of hot fluid. So MH would be 20,000 kg per hour. So we need to convert this value into kg per second. So divide by 60 minutes into 60 seconds. So 3600. So it would be kg per second, 5.55. And this is the inlet temperature of hot fluid. So TH1 is 120 degrees Celsius. Now the flow rate of cooling water is 50,000 kg per hour. So this is our cold fluid. So flow rate of cold fluid, so m of c is also 50,000 kg per hour. So we also need to convert into kg per second. So divide by 3600, 60 into 60. The heat transfer area is given 10 meter square. So area A 10 meter square, and overall heat transfer coefficient is also given. U is equal to 1200 watt per meter square degree Celsius. Taking specific heat of water, as we know the value of specific heat of water 4.186 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So here we need to find two things. First, effectiveness of heat exchanger, and second, outlet temperature of water and chemical. So here you can see that in this type of numerical, the outlet temperature of both hot fluid and cold fluid are unknown to us. So we cannot solve this numerical by LMTD method. So in our theory we have also learned that whenever outlet conditions are unknown to us, then NTU method is useful to find out the outlet conditions. To use LMTD method, we need at least 3 temperatures among the 4 temperatures. Here only 2 temperatures, inlet condition TH1 and TC1 are given, outlet conditions are unknown. So we need to solve this question by NTU method. So first we need to find out effectiveness. We know that our configuration is parallel flow heat exchanger. So we have equation for effectiveness for parallel flow heat exchanger is equal to 1 minus exponential of minus NTU 1 plus R upon 1 plus R. Remember one thing, whenever we are going to use NTU method, we need to find out C minimum and C maximum. After getting value of C minimum and C maximum, we can find out NTU and R, and from NTU and R we can get the value of effectiveness. In our equations, we have 2 equations for the effectiveness. This is the general equation for the effectiveness, Q by Q max, and this is for particular configuration. This is for parallel flow heat exchanger and this is for counter flow heat exchanger. So by using these 2 equations of effectiveness, we can find out value of outlet temperature of hot fluid, here TH2 and here TC2. So to get the value of TH2 and TC2, we need C minimum, CH, CC and this effectiveness. So this effectiveness, value of this effectiveness can be find out by using this equation for parallel flow heat exchanger, and for counter flow heat exchanger we are going to use this equation. So for NTU method, the first step would be to find out value of C minimum and C maximum. So how to find out value of C minimum and C maximum? So to find out the value of C minimum and C maximum, you have to find out value of MHCpH and MCCpC. So first we find value of MH into CpH. It means heat capacity of hot fluid. It means this is the value of CH. Mass flow rate of hot fluid is given, specific heat of hot fluid is given. So MH into CpH we get 18.315. MCCpC, mass flow rate of cold fluid, and CPC, this is our water. So specific heat of water 4.186 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So this is the value of heat capacity of cold fluid. It is 58.101. So from these values we can see that our CC is greater than CH. So our CC becomes C maximum and our CH becomes C minimum. Okay, so this is how we can get the value of C minimum and C maximum. C minimum is the lowest value among these 2 values and C maximum is the highest value among these 2 values. So how to find out value of R? So R is equal to, we know that it is a ratio of heat capacity, so C min by C max. So by putting these 2 values we can easily find out value of R, which is unitless of course. Now this is also dimensionless parameter NTU, UA by C minimum. U is already given in question, overall heat transfer coefficient. Value of A is also given in question, and C minimum is the lowest value among CH and CC. So by putting all these 3 values we can easily find out the value of NTU. So now we know the value of R and NTU. So by putting this R and NTU in this equation, we can find out effectiveness for the parallel flow heat exchanger. So by putting the value of NTU and R, we can find out the value of effectiveness for parallel flow heat exchanger. Now to find out the outlet temperatures of hot fluid and cold fluid, we have to use this equation. So we have to use this general equation here. Okay, so here I have written this Q by Q max equation. So from this first equation we can find out value of outlet temperature of hot fluid, because we know the value of CH and C minimum. Even our CH is our C minimum, so these two values would be cancelled out. So for the first case, effectiveness is equal to TH1 minus TH2 upon TH1 minus TC1. In this equation, we know the value of effectiveness. We have already find out it. We know the value of TH1. TH2 would be unknown for us, TH1 and TC1. So in this equation, only TH2 would be unknown. So it would be 76.12 degrees Celsius. Now from this second term, we can find out value of TC2, because we know the value of CC and C minimum. Our CC is a C maximum. So in this equation, instead of CC, we can write C maximum. So C maximum by C minimum. We know that C minimum by C max is equal to R. So we can write 1 by R instead of C max by C minimum. In this equation, we know the value of R, we know the value of effectiveness, we know the inlet condition TH1 and TC1. So only unknown is TC2. So we can easily find out value of TC2 by putting all other values. So this is how we can find out the outlet temperatures of hot fluid and cold fluid by using NTU method. Let's moving to one more question. That in a pipe and pipe heat exchanger, hot water flow at rate of 5000 kg per hour. So here already mentioned that this is our hot fluid whose mass flow rate is 5000 kg per hour. So mass flow rate of hot fluid MH 5000 kg per hour, we need to convert into kg per second. So dividing by 3600. Gets cooled from 95 to 65. So this would be TH1 and TH2. At the same time, 5000 kg per hour of cooling water at 30 degrees Celsius enters the heat exchanger. So the mass flow rate of cold fluid is also 5000 kg per hour. So it would be 1.38 kg per second. And the entry temperature, inlet temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. So TC1 is equal to 30 degrees Celsius. The the overall heat transfer coefficient means U is equal to 2270 watt per meter square Kelvin. Determine the heat transfer area required and the effectiveness of the heat exchanger. So we need to find out two things, area and the effectiveness. Assuming two streams are in a parallel flow heat exchanger. So our configuration is parallel flow heat exchanger. Specific heat of both streams, because both are the water, so specific heat is given 4.2 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So first we need to find out the unknown temperature. There are only three temperatures are given. So whenever we know the value of three temperatures, we can easily find out the unknown fourth temperature if we know mass flow rate and specific heat. So here we know mass flow rate of hot fluid, mass flow rate of cold fluid, and also the specific heat of both fluid, because both are the water. So we know the value of CPH and CPC. So here we know that MHCPH and MCCPC both are same. Mass flow rate of both hot fluid and cold fluid are same. Specific heat of both water fluid are same. So TH1 minus TH2 is equal to TC2 minus TC1. So from this equation, we can easily find out value of outlet temperature of cold fluid. So that TC2, so 60 degrees Celsius. So now to find out the area, here in this question, it is not mentioned that to find out the area, you have to use NTU method. So we can find out value of area by using LMTD method also. So in LMTD, we know that theta m is equal to theta 1 minus theta 2 upon ln theta 1 by theta 2. We know that values of all the four temperatures. So for parallel configuration, we know that the theta 1 would be TH1 minus TC1 and theta 2 would be TH2 minus TC2. So by putting all the values of TH1, TC1, TH2, TC2, we can find out LMTD 23.4. And we also know the equation Q is equal to UA theta m. In this equation, U is already given in the question. The value of Q. So we can find out either by value of Q either by using this equation MHCPH TH1 minus TH2 or by using this equation MCCPC TC2 minus TC1. U is already given in question. Theta m is 23.4. So by putting all these three values, we can easily find out value of area A. Now what we need to find out? Value of effectiveness. So to find out value of effectiveness, we have equation Q actual by Q maximum. We know what is the value of Q actual, either MHCPH TH1 minus TH2 or MCCPC TC2 minus TC1. What is the value of Q max? It is a C minimum TH1 minus TC1. We know that C minimum is a heat capacity of either hot fluid or cold fluid, whichever is minimum. Here in our case, both MHCPH and MCCPC are same. So here MHCPH upon C minimum will be cancelled out. So what would remain? TH1 minus TH2 upon TH1 minus TC1. So this is our effectiveness, 0.46 for the parallel flow heat exchanger. So this is how, by using only these equations, we can solve any numerical of heat exchanger. In our next lecture, we will solve numerical based on NTU method for the counterflow configuration. Thank you for today.